Good morning, this is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 154 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation where we use female words. This would be June 3rd if you're starting at the new year. Beyond the body. There is nothing outside you. That is what you must ultimately learn, for it is the realization that the realm of heaven is restored to you. For God created only this, and she did not depart from it, nor leave it separate from herself. The realm of heaven is the dwelling place of the child of God, who left not her mother, and dwells not apart from her. Heaven is not a place, nor a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness, and the knowledge that there is nothing else, nothing outside this oneness, and nothing else within. What could God give but knowledge of herself? What else is there to give? The belief that you could give and get something else, something outside yourself, has cost you the awareness of heaven and of your identity. And you have done a stranger thing than you yet realize. You have displaced your guilt to your body from your mind. Yet a body cannot be guilty, for it can do nothing of itself. You who think you hate your body deceive yourself. You hate your mind, for guilt has entered into it, and it would remain separate from your sisters, which it cannot do. Minds are joined, bodies are not. Only by assigning to the mind the properties of the body does separation seem to be possible. And it is mind that seems to be fragmented and private and alone. Its guilt, which keeps it separate, is projected to the body, which suffers and dies because it is attacked, to hold the separation in the mind and let it not know its identity. Mind cannot attack, but it can make fantasies and direct the body to act them out. Yet it is never what the body does that seems to satisfy. Unless the mind believes the body is actually acting out its fantasies, it will attack the body by increasing the projection of its guilt upon it. In this, the mind is clearly delusional. It cannot attack, but it maintains it can, and uses what it does to hurt the body to prove it can. The mind cannot attack, but it can deceive itself, and this is all it does when it believes it has attacked the body. It can project its guilt, but it will not lose it through projection. And though it clearly can misperceive the function of the body, it cannot change its function from what the Holy Spirit establishes it to be. The body was not made by love, yet love does not condemn it and can use it lovingly, respecting what the child of God has made and using it to save her from illusions. Would you not have the instruments of separation reinterpreted as means for salvation and used for purposes of love? Would you not welcome and support the shift from fantasies of vengeance to release from them? Your perception of the body can clearly be sick, but project not this upon the body, for your wish to make destructive what cannot destroy can have no real effect at all. What God created is only what she would have it be, being her will. You cannot make her will destructive. You can make fantasies in which your will conflicts with hers, but that is all. It is insane to use the body as the scapegoat for guilt, directing its attack and blaming it for what you wished it to do. It is impossible to act out fantasies, for it is still the fantasies you want, and they have nothing to do with what the body does. It does not dream of them, and they but make it a liability where it could be an asset. For fantasies have made your body your enemy, weak, vulnerable, and treacherous, worthy of the hate that you invest in it. How has this served you? You have identified with this thing you hate, the instrument of vengeance, and the perceived source of your guilt. You have done this to a thing that has no meaning, proclaiming it to be the dwelling place of God's child, turning it against her. This is the host of God that you have made, and neither God nor her most holy child can enter an abode that harbors hate, and where you have sown the seeds of vengeance, violence, and death. This thing you made to serve your guilt stands between you and other minds. The minds are joined, but you do not identify with them. You see yourself locked in a separate prison, removed and unreachable, incapable of reaching out as being reached. You hate this prison you have made and would destroy it, but you would not escape from it, leaving it unharmed without your guilt upon it. Yet only thus can you escape. The home of vengeance is not yours. The place you set aside to house your hate is not a prison, but an illusion of yourself. The body is a limit imposed on the universal communication that is an eternal property of mind. But the communication is internal. Mind reaches to itself. It is not made up of different parts which reach each other. It does not go out. Within itself, it has no limits, and there is nothing outside it. It encompasses everything. It encompasses you entirely. You within it, and it within you. There is nothing else, anywhere or ever. The body is outside you, but it seems to surround you, shutting you off from others and keeping you apart from them, and them from you. It is not there. There is no barrier between God and her child, nor can her child be separated from herself except in illusions. This is not her reality, though she believes it is. Yet this could only be if God were wrong. God would have had to create differently and to have separated herself from her child to make this possible. She would have had to create different things and to establish different orders of reality, only some of which were love. Yet love must be forever like itself, changeless forever, and forever without alternative. And so it is. You cannot put a barrier around yourself because God placed none between herself and you. You can stretch out your hand and reach to heaven. You whose hand is joined with your sister's have begun to reach beyond the body, but not outside yourself, to reach your shared identity together. Could this be outside you, where God is not? Is she a body? And did she create you as she is not, and where she cannot be? You are surrounded only by her. What limits can there be on you, whom she encompasses? Everyone has experienced what she would call a sense of being transported beyond herself. This feeling of liberation far exceeds the dream of freedom sometimes hoped for in special relationships. It is a sense of actual escape from limitations. If you will consider what this transportation really entails, you will realize that it is a sudden unawareness of the body and a joining of yourself and something else in which your mind enlarges to encompass it. It becomes part of you as you unite with it, and both become whole as neither is perceived as separate. What really happens is that you have given up the illusion of a limited awareness and lost your fear of union. The love that instantly replaces it extends to what has freed you and unites with it. And while this lasts, you are not uncertain of your identity and would not limit it. You have escaped from fear to peace, asking no questions of reality but merely accepting it. You have accepted this instead of the body and have let yourself be one with something beyond it, simply by not letting your mind be limited by it. This can occur regardless of the physical distance that seems to be between you and what you join, of your respective positions in space, and of your differences in size and seeming quality. Time is not relevant. It can occur with something past, present, or anticipated. The something can be anything and anywhere: a sound, a sight, a thought, a memory, and even a general idea without specific reference. Yet in every case, you join it without reservation because you love it and would be with it. And so you rush to meet it, letting your limits melt away, suspending all the laws your body obeys and gently setting them aside. There is no violence at all in this escape. The body is not attacked, but simply properly perceived. It does not limit you, merely because you would not have it so. You are not really lifted out of it. It cannot contain you. You go where you would be, gaining, not losing, a sense of self. In these instants of release from physical restrictions, you experience much of what happens in the holy instant, the lifting of the barriers of time and space, the sudden experience of peace and joy, and, above all, the lack of awareness of the body and of the questioning whether or not all this is possible. It is possible because you want it. The sudden expansion of awareness that takes place with your desire for it is the irresistible appeal the holy instant holds. It calls you to be yourself. Within its safe embrace, there are the laws of limit lifted for you to welcome you to openness of mind and freedom. Come to this place of refuge where you can be yourself in peace, not through destruction, not through a breaking out, but merely by a quiet melting in. For peace will join you there simply because you have been willing to let go the limits you have placed upon love and joined it where it is and where it led you in answer to its gentle call to be at peace. This is interesting to me because it seems to suggest that, well, and I think most of us would agree, that usually death involves violence of some kind. The illusion of death, the dream of death, is a violent one, where there is pain and suffering inflicted on the body, and the mind experiences pain, which believes it is attached to that body. This describes an escaping from the body that involves no violence, no hate whatsoever, no pain, but only love and expansion. And it says that this is the only way to escape the limitations of the body, suggesting that if we leave the body violently with pain and suffering, it means that we are destined to return to the body in what we think of as reincarnation. That is just a guess I am placing as I have been considering this particular text excerpt and what it says. It also explains that our creating the illusion of the body is what perpetuates the illusion of separation from our sisters, so that we seem to have private thoughts and we seem to be alone and cut off. The body has become important to us because we have sided with separation. As long as we feel guilty, we are afraid of joining and we are afraid of love. This and everything else I've seen in A Course in Miracles suggests that when we give up attack thoughts and give up judgment, the body will simply function, be in perfect health, and experience love. And, well, it says the body doesn't experience anything, but it will be what we would think of the body being in paradise. An instrument of love, an instrument of experiencing happy dreams. So it seems to me that the process of purification, it's not what so many religions have taught, what we have come to think of it as being, which is maybe an instrument of compounding guilt. But purification is a letting go of all painful things, all painful thoughts towards ourselves and others, until the only thoughts we think are the ones we think with God, with love. We don't do this by pushing against those things, but simply saying, those things don't mean anything. We let them go as meaningless, not with any sort of violence or hate or reactiveness or pushing against, but just a letting go as one does with something that is meaningless. We let go of the meaningless. All right, lesson 154. I am among the ministers of God. Let us today be neither arrogant nor falsely humble. We have gone beyond such foolishness. We cannot judge ourselves, nor need we do so. These are but attempts to hold decision off and to delay commitment to our function. It is not our part to judge our worth, nor can we know what role is best for us. What we can do within a larger plan, we cannot see in its entirety. Our part is cast in heaven, not in hell, and what we think is weakness can be strength, and what we believe to be our strength is often arrogance. Whatever your appointed role may be, it was selected by the voice for God, whose function is to speak for you as well. Seeing your strengths exactly as they are, and equally aware of where they can be best applied, for what, to whom, and when, she chooses and accepts your part for you. She does not work without your own consent, but she is not deceived in what you are and listens only to her voice in you. It is through her ability to hear one voice, which is her own, that you become aware at last there is one voice in you, and that one voice appoints your function and relays it to you, giving you the strength to understand it, do what it entails, and to succeed in everything you do that is related to it. God has joined her child in this, and thus her child becomes her messenger of unity with her. It is this joining through the voice for God, of mother and of child, that sets apart salvation from the world. It is this voice which speaks of laws the world does not obey, which promises salvation from all sin, with guilt abolished in the mind that God created sinless. Now, this mind becomes aware again of who created it, and of her lasting union with itself. So is its self the one reality in which its will and that of God are joined. A messenger is not the one who writes the message she delivers, nor does she question the right of her who does, nor ask why she has chosen those who will receive the message that she brings. It is enough that she accept it, give it to the ones for whom it is intended, and fulfill her role in its delivery. If she determines what the messages should be, or what their purpose is, or where they should be carried, she is failing to perform her proper part as bringer of the word. There is one major difference in the role of heaven's messengers which sets them off from those the world appoints. The messages that they deliver are intended first for them, and it is only as they can accept them for themselves that they become able to bring them further and to give them everywhere that they were meant to be. Like earthly messengers, they did not write the messages they bear, but they become their first receivers in the truest sense, receiving to prepare themselves to give. An earthly messenger fulfills her role by giving all her messages away. The messengers of God perform their part by their acceptance of her messages as for themselves, and show they understand the messages by giving them away. They choose no roles that are not given them by her authority, and so they gain by every message that they give away. Would you receive the messages of God? For thus you do become her messenger. You are appointed now, and yet you wait to give the messages you have received, and so you do not know that they are yours, and do not recognize them. No one can receive and understand she has received until she gives, for in giving is her own acceptance of what she received. You who are now the messengers of God, receive her messages, for that is part of your appointed role. God has not failed to offer what you need, nor has it been left unaccepted. Yet another part of your appointed task is yet to be accomplished. She who has received for you the messages of God would have them be received by you as well, for thus do you identify with her and claim your own. It is this joining that we undertake to recognize today. We will not seek to keep our minds apart from her who speaks for us, for it is but our voice we hear as we attend her. She alone can speak to us and for us, joining in one voice the getting and giving of God's word, the giving and receiving of her will. We practice her giving what she would have, that we may recognize her gifts to us. We practice giving her what she would have, that we may recognize her gifts to us. She needs our voice, that she may speak through us. She needs our hands to hold her messages and carry them to those whom she appoints. She needs our feet to bring us where she wills, that those who wait in misery may be at last delivered. And she needs our will, united with her own, that we may be the true receivers of the gifts she gives. Let us but learn this lesson for today. We will not recognize what we receive until we give it. You have heard this said 100 ways, 100 times, and yet belief is lacking still. This is sure. Until belief is given it, you will receive 1,000 miracles, and then receive 1,000 more, but will not know that God herself has left no gift beyond what you already have, nor has denied the tiniest blessings to her child. What can this mean to you until you have identified with her and with her own? Our lesson for today is stated thus: I am among the ministers of God, and I am grateful that I have the means by which to recognize that I am free. The world recedes as we light up our minds and realize these holy words are true. They are the message sent to us today from our Creator. Now we demonstrate how they have changed our minds about ourselves and what our function is. For as we prove that we accept no will we do not share, our many gifts from our Creator will spring to our sight and leap into our hands, and we will recognize what we have received. This to me suggests why direct manifestation doesn't have lasting beneficial effects, because as long as we experience the internal guilt and project it onto others, attacking and criticizing and judging, anything that we desire for ourselves that we do successfully manifest, there will appear the serpent in the Garden of Paradise, the unhealed thing that is in our own minds. To accept the call of ministry, to accept that we desire nothing more than to be the messenger of love, that is a great act of trust. To trust that there is an intelligence in love that knows us far better than we know ourselves, that knows where we would be most effective in bringing love to others and relieving suffering. It is a great act of trust, and it is very beautiful. It would be such a beautiful existence to do nothing but be love in this world, to be the answer to the prayer of others, and to see miracles done because of it. Not just to be ineffectual, feeling helpless like we can't help the suffering of others, but to actually be able to help. That is a wonderful thing to receive. May it be so, and happy practicing.